Today it's my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome Fahim Majwala.
It's actually pronounced Majwala.
Yeah, I told you I messed up. Anything that Fahim says today is authentic, but that's his personality. He's not going to tell you anything that he doesn't truly believe and he doesn't truly practice.
My name is Fahim Majwala. I was in Mexico, so it's Moholala there, but the J is silent if you're in Mexico, just saying. I was born in India, and I was 3 when my mother brought me to JFK, which is why I don't speak like this, just so you know, but I can, you know.
And when he wants to draw a good laugh.
And we want, absolutely. And if the shipping center did not work, we would start a comedy club, Patrick and I. Let me tell you something. My father died of esophageal cancer in 1998, and I inherited $4 million. And by the time 2009 rolled around, I was 1 rent check away from homelessness. Whoever wasn't awake, I bet you got you up, right? That's my story and that's my journey. How I got up from 2009 November till now, and we grew 25% during a pandemic. And we did it with authentic communication, collaboration, empathy, grit, gratitude, generosity, grace, right? And it's all about personal development, because remember something, if we are not correcting ourselves every day, if we are not improving ourselves every day, then we, my friends, are not improving the world. We like to look at the external, we like to look at the outside, but we don't look at the inside. A dear mentor of mine taught me that when we are pointing a finger at someone, 3 of these, look at this, 3 of these are pointing at me. If I'm pointing a finger at someone so-and-so, well, guess what? We reflect what we are. One of our mentors spoke last night at our team meeting, and she said we reflect who we are. So we are mirrors of one another. I am going to be happy when I get out of debt. Happiness, my friends, is a choice, not a condition. Oh, they're always so happy. Listen, besides the fact, if someone's not taking drugs and always happy, find out what makes them happy. That creates happiness. I get asked that all the time. I so do get asked that all the time. Happiness is a choice that we choose every day. How do we make happiness? I can choose to be happy that it's snowing outside. I can choose to be happy that it's snowing outside because my nephew who lives in southern Florida pays extra money to come here in the wintertime because he doesn't see snow. So why don't I look? It's just the angle of life. It's just the angle that we're at. That's the choice. If you say, I'm going to be happy when I get out of debt, that means number 1, you're not happy now, and 99% of the time, statistics say you're not going to be happy when you get out of debt. Because Jay Shetty talks about 3 cancers of the brain: complain, compare, and criticize. And in a pandemic, these 3 cancers are epidemic. Complain, compare, criticize. Which is why you have all this depression and suicide and all this, because we're taught to, number 1, inhale all the stuff that the media is telling us. It doesn't matter which side you're on, right or left or middle, it's all focused on getting you negative. So if we can do certain things, certain habits, if we can inculcate certain habits, this is how I got out of debt, this is how my family got out of debt, this is how I was able to create happiness for people inside myself, my kids, and now my family, my work family, and people around me. There's an energy. When you walk into the room, you carry your own energy. It doesn't matter if you've got a mask on or not. You exude a certain energy, and that energy transfers. So sometimes that energy is positive and needs to be positive, and sometimes that energy is really negative. Is it always a bad day? When you hang out with people, on a golf course, and you hang out with billionaires, they talk about certain things, and they're also human beings. You're like, oh wow, why does this guy have so much money, and why is this? No. Have you hung out with these people? They talk about these things. They talk about certain qualities of personal development and excellence. So in 2014, I started something. In 2014, I wrote down certain things that I wanted to do, how I wanted to be. You all have greatness in you. And I'm here to tell you that you have to find yourself. You have to find your why. What makes you you? When your passion meets your why, what are you really, really, really good at? And what do you love? When that connects, that's your purpose. I've learned stuff the hard way. Good people, remember this, good people learn from their mistake. Great people learn from others' mistakes. Hashtag Fahim Fix. I'm here to gift you the mistakes that I made so you don't make them, right? So be impeccable with your word. If you have a date set for someone to meet someone, this is relationship 101. Listen, I was taught by my mentor, inform or perform. If you can't be there, text them, I'm running late. Returning phone call, responsiveness to your messages. And listen, have you ever been in a situation where you called someone, they didn't pick up, and it went to a missed call, and you didn't leave a voicemail? Would you be worried? So please, I implore you, I beg you, I humbly request you, don't ever do that. Just follow up that missed call with a little text. Do you know, through empathy and collaboration, Microsoft in 2014, which is when I wrote this, till now, turned around $250 billion worth of business because of 2 things. The new CEO of Microsoft, his name is Satya Nadella. He and his wife We're growing 1 or 2 children, and because of parenting his kids, he learned empathy and collaboration, and at the head of Microsoft grew it to $250 billion profit through empathy and collaboration. The janitor at Microsoft can come to the head CEO, make an appointment, and dish out the complaints. And I'm thankful to tell you that my wife and I run our company the same way, and they'll tell you that. And as a result of which, we grew 25% in COVID. So I wrote these quotes. In 2014, these are the quotes that I wrote that I wanted to be like, and I wanted to be successful. Number 1, if people like you, they will listen to you. But if they trust you, they'll do business with you. That's the first one. Number 2, when we do more than we are paid to do, eventually we will be paid more for what we do. When I tried to live this, everyone said it wouldn't work, and everyone started chastising me and telling me that it's just not the way business is done. I don't know what you're doing. You're doing more for what people are paid. Now, Professor Tutka will tell you, I can't leave the counter. There are people who come to me for the experience that I've provided them in the past. You know, we have a rule at our place. Whenever someone passes away, and we do faxing and copies and stuff like that, and they bring their death certificate for us to fax, the first 4 pages of any death certificate of anybody, we don't charge for. Just because, you know what? I know how painful it is. I lost my father in 1998. 2 weeks ago, I lost his sister. I know how that pain is. If I can be there for you in that moment of need, number 1, it's the right human thing to do, but number 2, can I just tell you how much free marketing I've gotten from it? It's incredible. Just be like, you know what? They're actually human. Number 3, passionate leaders don't see through people, they see people through. Passionate leaders don't see through people, they see people through. And number 4, this is essential. This is what we talk about all the time, and Anthony and Johnny will tell you. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to his or her commitment to excellence, regardless of his or her chosen field or endeavor. This is essential, my friend. 2013, I was listening to a podcast, Lewis Howes, The School of Greatness. Highly recommend it. If you don't have it, it's the #1 motivational podcast on iTunes right now. Lewis Howes, Lewis Howes, The School of Greatness podcast. He's a former professional athlete turned lifetime entrepreneur, and he's just knocking it out of the park, interviewing all these famous authors that you guys read. Give and Take by Adam Grant. That was the one book that I highly, highly recommend. Then I wrote down on this piece of paper, this is it. Like, this is the paper. I was like, this is what's gonna make me successful. Like, that's it. Build relationship. Don't sell. Engage. What does the first S stand for? So lifesavers, the first S stands for silence. Every morning, get up, no phone, get your silence, your spirituality, your meditation, your yoga, your calmness. Close your eyes and do what you do to get in touch with your spiritual being. Whatever that may be. Your prayer, your meditation, your yoga, your calmness, there has to be a silence. There has to be a reflection. There has to be a stillness that is completely devoid of any devices. That stillness has to be completely devoid of any device. And in that calmness, you're thinking of literally nothing. And you're emptying out your entire system to take the day. That is the first test. Then, as soon as you've emptied out, you're going to fill it again with the A, and that is affirmations. You are going to affirm. I want every one of you to write down your affirmations after this class. Like, you're going to affirm what it is you would like to do or become. What your version of your successful self looks like. What does your version of your successful self look like? Affirm that every day. That I affirm to be the best XYZ in Niagara Falls, Western New York, the country. I affirm to be the best athlete, or spiritual problem solver, or coach, or teacher, or doctor, or engineer, or business person, or XYZ, whatever it is, the best dancer. I aspire to be this. I affirm. This is who I affirm to be. The third thing is, you are going to not affirm it, but you're also going to visualize it. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to see yourself being the best version of yourself that you just affirmed. Whatever you affirm, you're going to see yourself in it. Mental visualization is a very, very powerful tool, and we don't use it enough. What our mind conceives, our body can achieve. It's incredible. So you're going to affirm that. And the E stands for exercise. S-A-V, you got silence, affirmations, you visualize your success, but your body has to move with your mind. That's the only drug I take. That's the serotonin, and the dopamine is released. For me, if I get on that treadmill 15 minutes on an 11.4 incline, 3.5 speed, woo! That's my high, baby. That's what gets me going. And so I had a choice to make. I was like, oh crap, Manny's not here. What am I gonna do? And so I slept to the gym. I'm a Long Island boy. I grew up in Long Island, moved to Western New York in 2005, by the way. I didn't finish that story about the whole Megan. That's in my TED Talk. That's for a different time. So we did that. I got on the treadmill, came back. E is for exercise. Reach your target heart rate every single day. Because listen, I know that you guys are all young and you feel invincible, but guess what? We only have one body and one mind. And if we abuse it, we lose it. And if we take care of it, it lasts longer and it gives us back. It is disrespectful to our body and our mind to abuse either one of them. It is disrespectful to our body and our mind if we abuse either one of them. Remember that. So exercise. And then the R stands for reading. Reading. My dear friend, if you leave Niagara University and spend $127,000 after 4 years and you did not continue your path on reading, you have been ungrateful to the wonderful people at Niagara who taught you that the beginning of your education starts with commencement, which is why they call graduation commencement, which means the beginning. You were here educated for life. One of the things that we have to do, never stop reading. 30 minutes a day. Start with 5. If you hate reading, audiobook. But I urge you, really, get that mind flowing. Before you turn on the news, put the news on snooze, and get your book going. So S stands for scribing. Scribing is actually writing, and it talks about journaling. Friday, January 15th, I started journaling because I was like, I want to encourage everybody to journal, and I have not missed a day, thankfully. This is super important. Write down your thoughts. Write down what you're thinking. Every day we make a choice. We either inspire, motivate, uplift, and rejuvenate, or we don't.